Why should we study world religions? That's an important question to ask at the start of this course. We do have a lot of work to do, so reminding ourselves why can help sustain our efforts. Our motivations for study also influence where we focus our attention and shape the attitudes we bring to our work. This lecture does not offer a complete set of reasons for the study of religion. It looks instead at a few reasons people choose to study religion, and then goes into greater depth on religious diversity in the U.S. today. Why study religion? First, religion is an important social phenomenon. Because of its prominence, people want to trace how religion influences those who practice it, and in turn, how its members influence the societies they live in. Second, religion touches on some of the most intimate and profound aspects of a person's life. People turn to religion at key moments in their lives. Its rituals mark life events, such as births, becoming an adult, getting married, facing illness, or responding to grief. People draw from a religion to make sense of core life experiences, such as work, relationships, making new things, working for a goal, and relating with our natural world. Because religion is a human endeavor, appreciation for religion leads toward a deeper appreciation of human beings. Third, when we honor what's true and beautiful about each of the world's religions, we can break down prejudices. People often have prejudices about a religion, and they often use religion as a motive to exclude or dismiss people. If we know about a religion and the people who practice it, we're less likely to be taken in by prejudices. Finally, American society has become more religiously diverse since the 1960s. Knowing about the religions Americans observe helps us work more effectively with our neighbors and fellow citizens. We have named 4 reasons people study religion. At this time, we'll look more closely at religious diversity in the United States. The Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1965 sets a legal context for growing ethnic and religious diversity in the United States. This law replaces a policy from the 1920s that had a goal of expanding the American workforce without increasing diversity. Instead, the 1965 law gives preference to family reunification and encourages immigration by people with marketable, professional skills. The law does away with the 1920s quotas placed on immigration on each country in order to favor majority Protestant countries of Western Europe, and instead institutes the same capacity limit on each country globally. As a result, we see increased levels of immigration from Asia by professionals and highly educated individuals. In addition, because the 1965 Immigration and Naturalization Act does not make provisions for migration by unskilled workers, we see, as an unintended consequence, increased undocumented migration from Latin America. Both of these trends contribute to religious diversity in the U.S. This series of graphs shows the results of a Gallup survey of Americans' religious affiliations in 10-year increments, from 1965 to 2020 and then to 2023. During these 58 years, we see growth among non-Christian religions. Christians become internally more diverse, and we also see in the past 25 years a prominent rise among people who do not affiliate with a particular religion. The Gallup survey data also shows growth in diversity among Christians' religious affiliations. Over 50 years, we see a decline among mainline Protestants and growth in evangelical Christianity. But this does not tell the whole story. As immigration from Asia and Latin America increases, we see greater cultural diversity within Christian denominations. This is not always evident at the local level. Congregations often attract families from the same ethnic and cultural background. Since the 1970s, however, particularly in urban areas, we more regularly find multicultural congregations. Religious diversity tends to be greatest among young Americans between the ages of 18 to 29. Religious diversity also varies from one part of the country to another. In general, urban areas have more religious diversity. We also see more religious diversity in the Northeast, in Florida, along the Gulf Coast, in the West and Southwest, and on the Pacific Coast. We see the lowest levels of religious diversity in the South, traditionally called the Bible Belt, where Protestant affiliation dominates. And we also find relatively lower levels of religious diversity in the plain states of Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri, and in rural areas of the Midwest. In California, religious diversity differs slightly from the country as a whole, because Catholics outnumber Protestant Christians, and nearly one-third of California's residents do not affiliate with a religion. The rapid rise of religious nuns in the 21st century also contributes to religious diversity. This group includes people who identify as atheist or agnostic, and those who do not affiliate with any religion. This does not mean they do not believe anything. Roughly half believe in a higher power or see themselves as spiritual. Given the religious diversity we find in the country, we might expect that most Americans have a friend who does not share their religion. We might be surprised, however, to hear that more than one-third of the people in our country say that most or all of their friends come from the same religious background. And most friends, it seems, do not talk about their religion. Because of religious diversity in the United States, if we want to cooperate well with our neighbors and fellow citizens, it would help to understand their religions. If we're not typically learning about religion from our friends, we're going to have to learn about it by searching for valid sources about the topic, reading, listening to interviews, watching video, visiting congregations, and studying religious cultural products like art, architecture, music, and traditional ceremonial dress.